Welcome to the Go Slow to Go Fast Lifestyle Podcast, where we explore the art of intentional living. Whether you're juggling life as a working parent, leading in your profession, or simply seeking more meaning in your everyday, my fellow ladies in leadership, this episode is for you. Working moms, working women, running businesses and schools, I see you. I know you are making the world a better place, and I hope you keep leading and letting me know if you resonate with my message today. This goes out to all women who have either recently gone through menopause, perimenopause, or are getting ready to, or don't know they're in it, but maybe after this episode you realize you are. I'm your host, Kendra Chapman, and today I'm stepping into a conversation that I've been thinking about bringing to the podcast world for a while. It's one I've felt deeply in my body, my mind, and my leadership, and honestly, I wasn't sure how I was going to talk about it until recently when I saw the Oprah episode. And I've also listened to a few of Marie Forleo's powerful interviews with medical professionals on her podcast. I decided to stop holding it in and just start talking. So because this season of menopause has brought it with it more than just a few hot flashes, it's also been impacting my confidence, my clarity, and how I lead as a school principal and an educational leader. If you've ever found yourself forgetting a word mid-sentence, sweating through your sheets at night, or second-guessing your once razor-sharp instincts, you're not alone. In this episode, I'm sharing what this transition has looked like for me, how it's shown up in my daily leadership, in my daily life, and what I'm learning about giving myself grace in the midst of it all. So if you're ready to slow down and embrace the beauty of an intentional lifestyle, even in that hormonal haze, grab a cozy drink, join me on the couch or in your car or during your walk. Let's get comfortable and get started. So welcome back, everybody. I want to thank you for being here. Again, I'm going to say this in every podcast moving forward, that I'm really grateful that you are choosing to be here with me and listen to me, because there's so many podcasts out there. And so thank you for being here. And I hope that something in this resonates with you, and that you let me know about it. So what's bringing me Hygge this week is honesty. And surprisingly, it's the act of naming it that's been hard. I didn't realize how much I'd been carrying it around until I heard someone else describe it. So frozen shoulder, yep. Brain fog that makes me wonder if I'm losing my edge, check, check. Mood swings, ADHD-like frustration and distraction, word recall issues in the middle of conversations with parents and staff. Yes, that's me. Let me tell you, when you're responsible for hundreds of decisions a day, when you're constantly responding, evaluating, disciplining, coaching, guiding, and also having your hormones hijacked and they take your ability to think clearly, it's just no small thing. So there is Hygge in this moment. Giving myself permission to slow down and talk about it is where I'm going to find the Hygge. And that's that cozy comfort of realizing that there are other people like me out there. And I may feel like I'm just talking to a camera and speaking into a microphone, and there's nobody else on the other end, but I know there is. And so I'm giving myself permission to talk about it, and I know I'm not the only one, and neither are you. So that's what's bringing me joy and Hygge today, is just realizing that there is a community out there, and that's part of the reason why I'm putting this podcast together and putting it out there, and why I'm building my website, and eventually, hopefully one day I'll be able to retire and continue my messaging when I leave education behind and move into this next chapter of helping others like me who want to build a balanced lifestyle, a slow living lifestyle. And so I know it's something that I've been working on for at least 5 years now, maybe 10. We'll go as far as saying 10 years, but it's definitely bringing me Hygge to know that there is a community out there, and it's happening because I'm starting to see that people are talking back and letting me know that they have things in common with me. They like the messaging. They want to know more. And so I hope you continue to tell me what you want to hear about. And let me know if this resonates with you too. Talking about menopause. So in segment 2, I want to talk about a Hygge highlight for my main topic, which is menopause. I'm going to talk about the confidence curve. So let's talk about confidence. I talked about it last week on my podcast about that self-doubt and not letting your doubt in yourself take over. Don't worry about keeping up with the Joneses. Don't worry about doing things like other people. Just be you. Literally just be you and do what you do, and just know that you are going to make somebody else see that they can do it too. And so I just want to keep that going with, the conversation around confidence. So I've always prided myself on my ability to think quickly. I have been in education for over 25 years, and I've been a teacher, I've been a coach, I've been an assistant principal, I've been a principal for this is my 10th year in being a principal, and I've had to think quickly. I've had to communicate clearly and adapt on the fly. It's just part of my identity as a leader. And in this current season, I would say in the last 5 years, I've had moments where I've literally lost words in a conversation. And I'm thinking, I know I'm smart. I know. And it's not even like big educational words, not those academic terms. It's just everyday words. I lose my train of thought. I can't think of a basic word. And I'm looking at my colleagues going, oh my gosh, I know you think I'm an idiot. Or maybe you're wondering what's going on with Kendra. But it's just, I think we've all been there. And sometimes women may not feel like they can say, me too, or yep, I've been there too. But I think once we let our walls down and we share the struggle we're going through, more and more of us will start talking and realizing that we're not alone. So when that happens in front of parents or during staff meetings, of course, that's going to look bad, but I'm just trying to be real, do what I can to live my truth. And so it does chip away at your sense of control, and it does to start feeling personal. I've had moments this year I'm not proud of where I've kind of lost my train of thought or I've done something stupid, but I recover. I apologize when I make mistakes. I just do as much as I can to be as consistent as I can when I'm in those good moments. And when I'm not in those good moments, I try to take a break and go for a walk or take a personal day or take the afternoon off, make an appointment to see my doctor. I try to make as much time in my day work for me. So when I'm on, I'm on. And when I'm not, I just take a break and step back. And that's okay. I've got plenty of leave. I've got sick leave. I can do that. And if you are not in that place to do that, hopefully you can make space to do that and let people that you trust and feel comfortable around, letting your walls down around, to tell them, this is what I'm going through right now. This is what I need. And I just need you to know that I'm not having a mental breakdown. I'm just going through menopause. And I think for a long time I was calling it perimenopause, but I think now I'm in menopause. So, and you start questioning yourself. You start wondering, am I still good at this? Did I just sound unsure? Did I just make a fool of myself? Are they noticing something's off? And they definitely are noticing something's not right. And the more I can be transparent about it when I'm ready to be, the better, I think. But it just creates a cycle. You try harder, you over prepare, you stay up later, and then it all leads to you getting tired and getting fatigued. And I don't want to get into that mode again. I'm on spring break right now, and I'm trying to record as many podcasts as I can so I'm ready to go when I come back. And I don't feel like I'm having to multitask too much. I want to really focus. I like when I'm at work, at school, I like to be here now in whatever I'm doing. I like to be present. And so I'm making sure that I'm doing a lot when I'm having my downtime so I can focus on this now, be here now for my podcast. But then when I'm back at work, I'm at work and I'm focusing on that. And so knowing that I make nearly 300 decisions a day, that's a principal's life, from how to handle student conflict to what data means for our school's future. I know my brain is already working overtime. And so just to function through the fog, it's exhausting. But here's what I've found from my Huga highlight. Instead of trying to hide it, I've just started to name it. I say it out loud, I take a breath, and I even laugh about it when I blank on a word, because shame, it just thrives in silence. So I'm not going to accept that. I'm not going to be shameful of what I'm experiencing. I'm going to live through it, and I'm going to live my truth, and I'm going to find the peace in that. So I'm learning that leadership doesn't mean pretending to be invincible. It actually means being vulnerable. and showing everybody else around you what you're going through, that you can still be a leader. You can still make good decisions. You just have to take a break and step back sometimes. And it means leading with authenticity. As long as I can be authentic, I know that the kids are going to see me because they know that I'm being me. I know that my teachers are going to see me because they know I'm being me. I'm being as consistent as I can. And I'm taking a break when I can. And I'm also modeling for them that it's okay to do that as well. Like, I want teachers in classrooms with kids all the time. I want them at school. But if they need to take a break, I want them to take a break. Even when your hormones are making it extra crazy, I don't want you to take that out on kids. I don't want you to take it out on parents. I don't want you to take it out on your family. I want you to take a break and step back. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to model what I want my teachers to do. I'm going to model what I want fellow leaders to do, and I'm going to do it myself. I know when I share that with my team, they tell me they appreciate my vulnerability. And like I said, I know kids appreciate when you're real. So I'm not telling kids about my personal health business. And I'm really not telling teachers either. I'm only telling a very close few, but I'm letting them know when I'm out and I'm letting them know when I'll be back. I'm being transparent about those things. But with kids, I'm just telling them, I'm letting you know that I'm not happy with your behavior choices, or I really want you to try harder, making sure your assignments are turned in. Look, Miss Chapman makes mistakes too. But it's when you make those, moments real and you apologize for when you make mistakes. That's when you make sure your friendships are real. And that's when you make sure your teachers know that you are trying your best. And so I have those conversations with kids and I have them with teachers and they tell me like it is too. So, I think it's just all about being real and authentic in your truth. But for the women out there going through it, or if you've been there before, and you can recognize, I appreciate you. And I appreciate those of you that tell me when I'm doing great and keep pouring into me because I want to do the same for you. I appreciate every one of the retired teachers out there who are listening, who have worked with me before, who have blazed that trail before me because I appreciate you. I know you're out there and you're giving me feedback already. So shouts out. And I'm shouting out to all of you. Thank you for being there for me, especially those of you that were with me in previous schools. I love you for taking care of me when I was a younger mom. When I came back from leave, from having the triplets, and you knew I was having a hard time, you just rallied around me. You promised to help potty train the boys one day. You just continued to take care of me, and I really appreciate you. And you saw me in my fog when I had that pregnant fog and postpartum fog. So, women need to rally around each other and we need to make sure that we're pouring into each other and we need to encourage each other. And I'm grateful for all of you out there who did for me. And I want to keep paying it forward for all the ladies in leadership. So, yeah. And if you haven't watched the Oprah special on menopause, it just came out. I think it was this week. I think it was on a major network like ABC, and then it went on Hulu. So you can watch it on Disney and Hulu. There is, more information on that in my show notes. I'll make sure I put that out there. They had several women from the medical profession speak on it, and then leaders in their messaging around menopause as well. They had Halle Berry and Naomi Watts on. They had lots of women talking about their symptoms and their struggles. And so it was informative. I watched it yesterday, which was in the same week time frame, but not when it first aired. It's called an Oprah Winfrey Special, The Menopause Revolution. And it aired March 31st on Monday on ABC at 10/9 Central. And then it's now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu. So you can definitely watch that if you subscribe to those channels. But I'm sure they're going to keep pushing that message out. And then Leanne Morgan, if you've never watched her Netflix special, she's a comic. She's great. She's actually from Tennessee. She's very funny. And so they had her on as well, and they showed a few clips, and she definitely talks about menopause in her stand-up routine. So she's great if you want to check her out, if you don't know her, Leanne Morgan. But I'll put all that in my show notes. And Marie Forleo, her podcast has been really informative as well. I've enjoyed listening to her talk about menopause. She has a book out called Everything is Figure Outable, and she talks about menopause and all kinds of things, not just that, but symptoms that women go through and are challenged by, just hormones in general, and things that you just don't think about until you go through it. And then you find that you can't find the right doctor. And so she talks about a lot of that. She just recently put out on number 416, The Truth About Menopause Every Woman Needs to Hear. And there's one, episode 413, How to Lose Belly Fat, Heal Your Hormones, and Eat Like a Girl, with Dr. Mindy Pelz. So there's lots of different subjects that she discusses, but I've definitely enjoyed listening to her and her podcast, which is called the Marie Forleo podcast. And it's on Spotify and Apple for sure. One of her episodes, she has medical professionals talk about, and Oprah also talked about it as well, that the study on hormone replacement therapy that came out was, sensationalizing the health issues around hormone replacement therapy. And unfortunately, the messaging was flipped, where it's like really like less than 1% that is harmful to women's health. And they made it seem like it was, more than 90% harmful to women in their health. I have not looked into hormone replacement therapy, primarily because I thought it would cause cancer and increase the chance of getting cancer. Well, now I know that research was not conclusive and not reported truthfully. And so I want to go back and do a deep dive on that and learn more. I have changed my doctor recently. I have switched doctors a few times since I've moved to Tennessee in 2020, just because I wanted to make sure that I had the right doctors in place. I have a rheumatologist that I'm working with that is keeping track of my stress levels and making sure that I don't have any inflammation going on, which is great. I need that, as well as my hormones. And the PA that I'm working with, she's definitely keeping track of my hormones and weight gain and making sure that I'm eating healthy and I'm exercising. And she has me coming in often enough where I'm making sure I'm getting the mammograms and I'm getting my pap smears and I'm getting all the things that I need to be doing. Because let's face it, I think when 2020 hit, a lot of us, men and women, didn't go to the doctor for a while. And so we've got to get back on that track of going regularly, checking in with our healthcare providers, making sure we're getting our eyes checked and our heart checked and our blood checked and, teeth, going to the dentist, like all the annual checkups need to be happening, as well as anything else that's going on. And so I remember talking with some women at my workplace this time last year, because around Christmas of 2023, I realized, yeah, it was about 2 years ago, that I was starting to have these issues in my shoulder, my left shoulder. And I have arthritis. I have ankylosing spondyloarthritis that flares up every now and then, and it doesn't care what joints it messes with. It's an equal opportunist when it comes to inflammation, and it messes with my eyes, my connective tissues, it messes with my joints. And so I've had issues in my feet, joints in my feet and toes. I've had issues, joints in my hands, in my elbows, and most recently in my shoulder. But I just chalked that up to it's part of my arthritis. But the more research I did, I realized frozen shoulder is a thing. And the more women I talk to about this, the more they say, I didn't realize that was a hormone situation with menopause. They just thought it was getting old. And so when I started talking about how I had this issue where I couldn't, at one point in the last year and a half, I went from being able to raise both of my arms over my head to only being able to do this, where I had my right arm I could put all the way above my head. I'm taking my hand and my fingers and walking them up the shower wall for the last year and a half. And now I'm able to do this, where I can raise my both arms over my head. But if you see on the YouTube video, which I have a YouTube channel, I am recording this podcast on video and audio, and I'll post this on my YouTube channel, Kendra Chapman Living 123, you can see that I'm still not 100% because my right arm is totally straight and my left arm still has a little bit of an angle to it in the elbow, but that is still way better than it used to be. So I'm celebrating that as a win. So just so you know, that is a symptom of menopause as well. So who knew? But if you are interested in finding out more about menopause, definitely join me on this walk. I'm going to be continuing to do research, and I'll check in every now and then on my podcast to share more about what I learned. But I hope that you share your journey and tell me what's working for you and what you'd like to hear more about on menopause or anything else as far as women in leadership, moms, just running the home and figuring out how to make things work better, what struggles you're dealing with, what you would like to hear more about to try to apply that to your life and have a slow approach to living. So that's all for today's episode of the Go Slow to Go Fast Lifestyle podcast. And I'd love to hear from you. What's the one thing that's bringing you Hugo right now? Are you navigating menopause or perimenopause while juggling a full plate? Let's keep the conversation going. Email me at coachingwithkendrachapman@gmail.com or visit me at coachingwithkendrachapman.com or DM me on Instagram. I'm at coachingwithkendrachapman. Tag me in your midlife journey, and I'd love to hear and see what you're creating for peace and confidence in this season. Let's embrace this new chapter together with grace, curiosity, and intention. If you've enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend who might feel the same fog or overwhelm. And let me know, because they're not alone. And as always, stay connected and remember, take it slow, be intentional, and embrace the season you're in, because the calm in me honors the calm in you. And as you head into the next week, let your courage shine through. Until next time, take care and keep leading with purpose. And remember, go slow to go fast. Thanks for listening.